الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا أما بعد فإن خير الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. I'm trying to substitute for Sheikh Rizwan, who couldn't make it over here for some reason today, and I'll try to make the best use of your time and my time, inshallah. And I want to concentrate on one surah, Surah Al-Kahf. Surah Al-Kahf is the surah almost in the middle of the Quran, the 16 juz. This surah was revealed in answer to many questions that the Yahud and Nasara and the Mushrikeen or the Kafirin in Makkah used to ask Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and they wanted to see, to test for themselves whether he is the true prophet of God or not. And he was. We all know that, alhamdulillah. And they used to ask these many questions. One of those questions was about the Al-Kahf, the people of the cave. They thought that if the Rasulullah was not the true prophet, he would not know this. Then they asked another question about Musa and Khidr, Musa alayhi salam and Khidr, the story of Musa alayhi salam. And there's another story, and there's another fourth story about Dhul-Qarnayn. But the surah that draws us to the fact to our attention is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is qadir and qadir upon everything. We say inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir, and he is qadir and qadir on everything. He is qadirul mutlaq. There's nothing that is out of his power and his might. And he can make things happen that are beyond our imagination. And the story of Ashab al-Kahf is one of those stories. It happened that the Ashab al-Kahf, those people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not give account here, 2 or 3 or 5 or 7 people, those young men, they wanted to hold on to the faith of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's religion, to the true faith of Islam. This happened before the time of Isa alayhi salam. They wanted to hold on to their faith against the will, against the tyranny of the existing king, who did not want people to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who wanted to submit people to him. And these 5 or 7 people, and the count is not mentioned in the Quran. It says 5 or 7, whatever, and there was a dog with them also. They took refuge in a cave up in the mountain and to save themselves from being persecuted for being Muslims. They saved their lives, they saved their religion. They saved their faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They went up to the cave and they stayed there, and in the surah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes at length how they were themselves, what had happened. They slept in the cave, up in the cave, and they slept for 309 years. And they woke up. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions here that the sun, you would rise upon them and would set upon them, and they were in the shade, and it did not bother them. And they did not know how long they stayed, how long they slept. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's power and mercy and his might that he can make anyone sleep for a very long time and wake up all alive. Normally, what we imagine, what we see in this world is a person who dies, he's gone, he doesnn't come back. But it is the mercy and the might and the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he can bring them back. So he did. For 309 years they slept, and then they woke up and they did not know how long they slept. They said probably a day or a part of a day. They were discussing between themselves, maybe we slept for a day, maybe a part of the day or something. Let's go and get something out, go out, one of us should go out and get some food for us. So they sent one of them out into the village to get food and provisions for them, and he had a very old coin or whatever the money was there, whatever the means of exchange were there, the coin, he took it, and the people were surprised to see him. They were shocked. They did not imagine that somebody would bring a coin 300 years old. So at that time, the village, the king, and whoever the rulers were, including them, they had accepted the Islam. They accepted to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they all came to visit the seven brothers in the cave, to see who they were. And they saw and they said salam, and they went back to sleep and they died. This is the story that should remind us again and again and again of the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of His qudra, of Him being a qadir and qadir over everything, that He can make it possible, whatever we cannot even imagine. And it should lead us to believe in Him, in His mercy, even in the hardest of our times. And the very hard time where we face some, even I would not say persecution, but we say extreme conditions, being Muslims, and we want to save our religion, we want to save our faith, we want to continue to be faithful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we want to continue to submit to Him, and we have to save in this current environment. This is a story from the Quran which applies to us all at this time, that we are facing a challenge of Islamophobia and our people getting against the Muslims. We have to stick to our faith and do the best we can in every circumstance to continue to be Muslims, and not only to be Muslims, but to explain the religion to them, to bring the truth to the other people at the same time. So this is one story that draws my attention all the time, that we have to continue to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and do the best we can to save our religion, to save our faith, and not to give up in any circumstance. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين آمين. With this one story of the Surah Al-Kahf, there are 3 more stories. I would advise you, all of us, to read this surah with meaning and to try to understand what is behind all those stories. It is the motivation for us to have courage and be steadfast on Islam, on our religion, and to do good to others as best as we can do. It does not matter whether Muslims or not, but we have to be to the best of our character in the submission and in the following of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His character was described by Rasulullah, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as being upon the best of characters. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Innaka ala khuluqin azim." So we have to follow in one way or another as best as we can, to follow him and to have the best character and to stay steadfast on Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has praised, has sent His salat wa salam upon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the Quran, and we would want to do the same, inshallah. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد آمين. اللهم اغفر لنا وللمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات آمين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار آمين. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. أقيموا الصلاة. Please make sure that your lines are full and you don't